Hey guys, it's Kaelin Anderson and welcome back to my channel for special events where we talk about all things mobile bartending and mobile businesses. Tonight, I wanted to talk to you about why mobile bartending businesses are failing, why you are seeing tons of mobile bars for sale, all the horse trailer bars, businesses, the brands, why you see so many up for sale, but also why you see a lot of people still diving into this business. So there are a few pieces. There's three specific things I'm going to talk to you about. But if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please hit that subscribe button below. I try and share as much content as I can with you. I try and answer as many questions as I see on here and turn them into videos so that they can be helpful for you on your journey, depending on wherever you may be at. And we just go from there. So thanks so much. So three things. And I'll dive into each one a little bit more specifically. The first thing, it is not passive. There is not a passive thing about this business, and I will explain why in a minute. Second thing, yes, the money can be phenomenal. I almost double my salary each year by doing my mobile bartending business. However, it's not passive, like number one, okay? So money can be good, but it's not passive. So 1 and 2. And number 3 that we're going to talk about, a lot of these mobile bartending businesses that are coming out, they're spending tons of money. Guys, you don't have to spend tons of money to start. You can spend zero money to start. Okay, that's a lie. You need to have your ramp certification and you need to have your insurance policy. But other than that, you can spend relatively zero money to start. I did. It's the only way I was able to do this. I was at a time in my life where I had no money to start. My ramp certification was paid for by the bar that I was working for, so that literally costed me $0. And I just saved my bartending tips so that I could pay for my insurance, and I got to work. So these are the 3 biggest things. So let's dive back in. Let's start with number 1. Not passive. This is not passive. There's nothing passive. When you become a business owner and you're leaving your 9 to 5, you're leaving your 9 to 5 to work 24/7. So welcome to the club. It's the best feeling ever because you are in control of your destiny. No one else is in control of your destiny. But it's also the scariest feeling ever because even when you don't feel like answering emails back or phone calls back, or you have left your away email saying you are on a family vacation and they're still calling and they're still texting because it's just one little question, and you are answering calls on the beach while your children are trying to have their first family vacation, it is not passive. Okay. The only time that it starts to become passive is there's like 2 little things. One, when you set up really good systems, when you have an online platform. So like I talk about HoneyBook, because you set up those payment plans so you are getting money literally as you're sleeping, because payments are coming in throughout the year at their scheduled times and you'll forget, and all of a sudden your phone goes off and says so-and-so has made their $750 payment, and it's like a Tuesday. And you were like, well, that's exciting. Okay. So it becomes passive when you set up good systems that you have the money rolling in consistently. And then when you start to develop a staff or hire contractors in to do the work so that you're physically not bartending every single one, that you're physically not in the trenches. So you are able to fill that managerial, that CEO, that owner, that staff role, whatever you want to call yourself, because you are taking all the inquiries, you are booking all the clients, you are doing all the behind the scenes work of packaging, prepping, whatever you need to do for those events, then you are sending them off on their way to do the actual bartending, and you are not, which allows you your weekends back for the most part, to then be with your family. So that was a huge thing for me, was I needed to relinquish some control of the bartending itself, and I needed to really focus on answering emails back, phone calls back, text messages back, prepping all of our material so that the bartenders felt secure and prepared in what they were doing before they got to these venues. Communicating and making relationships with the vendors and the venue owners, because that gets you more business. Okay, so all of those things. There are plenty of things for you to do as an owner, boss, manager, that don't involve the actual bartending. Plenty of things. You will always be busy. Don't worry. Okay, money is great, but you have to know your costs. Okay, so now we're looking at, okay, it's not a passive thing. The money can be great, but you need to know your costs. Okay, you need to know how much it physically costs for all the fresh fruit that you're using. You need to know how much it costs for all of your mixers if you're providing mixer and consumables packages. You need to know how much it costs for cups. If you're getting your cups off of Amazon in cases of 1,000, you need to know that they're upwards of $80 a case, which is like 11 cents a cup or something like that. Like, you need to know these costs, okay? You need to figure them into your pricing. You can't just shoot out random numbers because it could be physically costing you money to go to these events, and you do not want to do that. I remember the days when I would charge a couple $100 to show up, just myself and my cooler, and provide my service, and I had to do almost 100 weddings to make some okay money. Now we're doing maybe a third of that to make really good money because I know what our services are worth. Our company has grown. We have great reviews. We work our butts off. We have higher prices that are sustainable, that are way, the prices that we charge are for the work that we put out. And we only take on those events for the people that are willing to pay those things. And I have a newsflash for some of you. The people who are willing to pay your prices, like over the moon willing to pay your prices, are actually way easier to work for. It'll shock you. I noticed that I was in last year was kind of an in-between time for me. I got to this place of we really started doing some high-end events, some very high ticket price events, but then we still had some of those stragglers that were like super low price events. And I was like, we need to get out of this in-between, because I'll go from a weekend where we're doing thousands of dollars and the people are just phenomenal. Can I help you with anything? Do you need anything? Do you want food? Like, they're just amazing. To then going to something that was pretty much costing us money, that was doing a favor for someone else, and they're constantly asking for more and more and more. And I'm feeling drained and I'm sad because I'm away from my family and I don't like it. So we had to cut that out. Okay, and that is, some of those things are going to be in a different video that I'm making about like knowing your costs. How do you get those high ticket clients? What are some things you need to do and have in place so that those high ticket clients can find you easily? So we're going to talk about that in another video. But knowing your costs, and it's not even just how much your stuff costs for you to be there, but knowing that the nights are long. Okay, so this is not a make money quick. You can hustle. I think I looked at our calendar. I think we're up to 17 total working days in the year. 17. And I'm going to double my salary. 17 days. But in those 17 days of events, there are multiple events per day. And that means that me, throughout the week, is communicating with the point of contact for the event, creating preference sheets, doing the shopping orders that we need, prepping everything in the garage, like having our go boxes ready, having the vehicles ready, just having everything set. So I work on these things all week. I just physically don't go out and do the bartending. So it's very important to make sure that, working 17 days doesn't sound like much, but when you're prepping every day of that week, every night of that week, in life, and you have family and you have maybe other jobs and things, it's a lot. So definitely things that you need to consider and think of. And then I started touching on the too much money that's spent up front without knowing how to bartend. Guys, it's a mobile bartending business. Really hard to own a mobile bartending business if you don't know how to bartend. You don't have to be a phenomenal bartender, but one of the things that I think has helped me be very successful in this space is that I was a bartender in high-end fine dining restaurants, in hole-in-the-wall, like guys bars, rough bars, in family restaurants. I got used to working 5, 6, 7 shifts a week, back to back, long hours. You're going at 5, you get out at 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. I had nights where I was driving home, the sun was coming up, 4:30 in the morning, showering, turning around and going to my day job teaching and just hustling. And those nights, those moments, those things that are like scorched into my brain have made me the business owner that I am now. Because for me, having that experience of I'm on someone's set schedule, I have to go to work for them 5 days a week. I can't call off. I can't. I have to be there always from the hours of 5 until 2 a.m. And I can't close early just because we're not busy. I never know the set amount of money I'm going to make. I could have a phenomenal night or I could have an awful night, but I'm still stuck there no matter what. I'm away from my family. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating very well. All of those contributing factors led me to say, hey, this is a really good opportunity. I work really hard to travel all over the place. It's a lot of risk on my part. I need to make sure I have insurances and all these things. But look at how many less days that I can work. Look at the income that it brings in. Look at the joy that it brings me, because you're with people who are celebrating and who are happy. And it's the beginning of people's lives together. It just all around, this option for me has been life-changing. Absolutely life-changing. So if you are a career bartender, or you've been a bartender for a long time for other people, and you are starting your journey, you will absolutely love it. You will, and it's not to say that you can't be successful if you weren't in a bar. I'm just saying you will appreciate and you will go the extra mile because you know what it's like in the other realm, if that makes sense. So these are my top 3 reasons that I think mobile bars are failing right now. Everyone thinks it's the next get rich quick. They're not willing to put in that extra work. They think that they're going to get all this money, but they don't know what their costs are, so they're not charging enough, or they're not charging the appropriate pricing. They don't realize that the nights are long until they can get good people trained and under their belt, until they make money consistently. You're going to have to go do it yourself, and you're going to need to know how to do that. You're going to have to put in those long nights and long days leading up to the long nights to prep. And they're spending too much money up front for these mobile bars. I actually started getting rid of some of my trailers because 95% of the venues that we're using have beautiful bars built in. I see a lot of people in this industry looking for a more all-inclusive option. The days of having to outsource all these different vendors, people are like, they want easy. They want fast and easy. So they're going to their venue owner and they're saying, who do you recommend? And I say, okay, we'll just go with them. So they call me and they say, hey, they recommended you. What's your all-inclusive package? Because I don't want to touch anything. Okay, done. Cool. And I give them, the mixables, consumables package, hydration station, coffee and tea bar, anything I can give them. I say, here, if you want it all, it's this much. And they say, okay, done. Because they don't want to deal with it. And those venues have their own bars and they're inside. So they don't want anything extra. So do I think that you need to buy this actual mobile bar to do all this? No. I think you need to spend thousands of dollars to do that? No. Do I think you need to spend thousands of dollars on courses to learn how to bartend? No. Nope. Nope. Start watching all my videos on here for free. And if you have questions, leave them in the comments because I always try and answer back. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.